All right, you're good, Mike. Sorry.
As I said before, the meeting will come to order, please. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act for this meeting have been satisfied. Would you please take a second, turn off electronic equipment as we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Attention, salute. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Johanna, call the roll, please.
Mayor Becker?
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg?
I am here.
We will go directly to the department head reports as there's no items for discussion. And Jimmy, why don't you start today?
Thank you.
I don't know. This is, you got to push the button now for this. So, Fred, thanks for fixing it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Anyhow, we got a different mic.
You should have a different mic.
John, to dovetail on what John was talking about with the rentals, we've had a lot of calls from realtors complaining about the beach project coming up. I direct them to our website, margate@-nj.com, to look at what we posted about when the projects will start. They're worried about rentals. People won't commit to renting their property until they know what the status of the dune project will be. We try to give them as much information we can, but we don't know exactly what street they're going to be on, what date, and they're looking for a specific type of date and time and location. So I don't know if you want to put any thought into it about how we're going to have that website direct them, or just leave it like it is. It's up to you guys. As to the mapping that we talked about last week, we had last meeting we had a meeting at the Canale Institute about adopting the preliminary work map, or the preliminary firm map. We will not lose points off our CRS program if we adopt the firm map, the one that the FEMA is now putting out. We're going to get a formal letter from them that will be, I guess, directed to our business administrator and to the mayor, indicating that we are looking to adopt that map. Once we adopt the map, we'll contact Scott and do our floodplain ordinance, so we send that up to the state to have them review it, and then the FEMA people would review it after that. So we got a couple more hoops to go through, but I think this is the direction we need to move forward with. The biggest key on it is we don't lose our classification of 5. We get rid of the ABFE map, which Roger and I have been consistently battling with. It's a ridiculous map. It's very hard to get data. And I think Roger will kind of agree. If get rid of that map, would it be a win-win for us? And that's all I have today.
Thank you, Jim. Frank, you're next.
We've been very busy the other day with the storm. Thank God it didn't snow. We didn't get really hit bad on our beachfront. We only had really 2 beach streets that flooded, which was amazing. All the water came from the bay. We also had the new light pole delivered today for the tennis courts, and we'll be putting that up very soon. That was caused by the damage of the January storm that we had. It blew down. And our water and sewer department, they've been very busy with the construction going on in town. We've been dealing with shutting down water and inserting valves in certain areas to improve our water system. But also, our stormwater system has been done, and they're in our sewer system. So we're quite busy and moving ahead.
Thank you, Frank. Solicitor Abbott.
I'll be very brief, Mayor. In fact, if there's anything you would like to ask me about on the dune issue, I know we've had a number of discussions. I'll just respond to questions from the commissioners and yourself and the public. I know there's an issue about possibly an injunction, scheduling, where we're going. I know you're going to address that a little bit more thoroughly, so I'll just answer the questions as any come my way. That's all I have.
Thank you, Scott. Johanna, do you have anything?
I do. I have received a letter from Margate Business Association looking for renewal of their contract that we've had in the past. If it's okay with the commissioners, we would like to add it on the next agenda. The contract has not changed, it's the same dollar amount, it's the same contract.
It's supposed to be
100%
on
the
all
same.
time.
If that's, I've got it, but I haven't had a chance to review it. If that's the case, I have no objection.
It's supposed to be on all the time.
And it's good by me, and they did, the price is the same. They have added some additional services though. So they've added in a couple of additional things that they're gonna try and do for us.
So,
I
Judge?
think it would be good to have Ed or someone come to the next workshop meeting and
Make a
just
presentation.
give us a 5-minute overview so we all know and it's good for the public.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that also. Just commenting, I know Joanna had sent it to me via email, but I did not get a chance to review it, and I would rather hold off until I was able to look at it.
Okay. The other thing I have in front of me is the aerial spraying for mosquitoes, that the county would like us to sign an agreement, if need be, to keep control of a high mosquito population, a nuisance and health hazard agreement. It is supposed to be extremely safe. They notify our police, fire prior to spraying, but it's as need be. It is not a given. So that is here for the mayor to sign if the mayor and commissioner agree to it. It comes recommended by Frank Rochetti, our public works director.
Good by me.
If Frank recommends it, I'm okay with it. That's my man.
Me too.
John?
I'm with it.
Okay.
What else, John?
Does it cover Zika?
I hope so.
No, I'm serious.
I have no idea. They're not specific to Zika.
Do they do
Oh.
do they do mini creek?
And everything else in the clerk's office is running smoothly.
Chief, just a question, and you may not be able to answer. When's the last time they sprayed in Margate? Do you have any idea?
Last year.
Did they do it last year?
Yes.
Okay.
They actually do it every year. Okay, it's just an agreement that we sign every year. Actually, they do it in the evening and they fly over. And they also have trucks going along with little cups that kill the larvae or whatever in all the storm drains.
Okay.
I do know
Thank
they
you.
go on the paper streets where water develops and they test it and they leave
Yes.
the materials there to kill the bugs.
Good,
The
good.
agreement is specifically for aerial, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joanna. Everyone else. Lisa? Lisa? Lisa?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tony's going last. Tony has to go last.
I'm like, boy, what did you do?
It's not personal, folks.
Okay, I really only want to mention, in regards to our 2017 municipal budget, as you know, we are introducing the budget today. I just provided to each of the commissioners a summary of the highlights. Just so you know, our hearing has been changed due to the cancellation of the meeting in April, and our budget hearing and hopeful adoption of the budget will be held on May 4th, okay? And statutorily, that will be the last time that we have to adopt the budget. It had to be done by April 21st or the first meeting thereafter, so we're okay with holding it on May 4th. I also prepared, in addition to the regular budget, the user-friendly budget, which is a separate attachment that we're required to do. That and the regular budget will be uploaded to the website within the next day or so. I have copies of the user-friendly budget that I can distribute to each of you. It just recaps it, supposed to make it a little easier to understand, which it really is not. Yes, it is, and you know what, it's very difficult to prepare, because it takes me quite some time to do. But I just want to go over a couple of the highlights in this budget, which I feel is a very good budget. Our overall dollar increase to the municipal tax levy is $406,000. Our local tax rate has just a slight increase of 0.6 of a penny. bringing our new local tax rate to .619. Last year it was .613. You'll notice in regards to the revenue, you'll see a large increase under the state and federal grants, and I just want to give you an explanation. $3 million of that, which there's an offsetting appropriation of $3 million, and what that is the grant that both Margate, Longport, and Brigantine are receiving for elevation of the homes. We each were awarded $1 million, but Margate will be administering the reimbursements to the individual homeowners. So we just needed the mechanism in place to fund that. So that's why there's such a huge increase. Okay, our surplus, we anticipated 200,000 less than the prior year, which is 3.2 million. As you know, in 2016, we realized $400,000 less in surplus, so we didn't want to be overzealous in using too much, so that we still maintain a healthy balance there. On the appropriation side, a few things I want to point out is our salary and wage overall only shows an increase of 1.19%, which is very good considering that the majority of the contracts authorized a 2% increase this year in salaries. So, but overall it's 1.19%. Let's see what else. Excuse me. Capital without grant. Our debt service is up just under $400,000. It's a 10.29% increase, but next year it will level off, and the years after that it will decrease. One other thing I wanted to mention on the revenue side, the proceeds that we received due to Hurricane Sandy and other aid that we received, we currently have in reserve a little over $5 million to use to pay down future debt service. So this year we're anticipating $645,000 of that. So that's going to take us out probably at least 10 years. And it has to be utilized to pay off the debt specifically attributable to projects related to Hurricane Sandy. Okay, let me see. And those are basically the highlights that I have, unless you have any other questions.
Any questions for Lisa?
I'd just like to supplement, because this is where the discussion is for your introduction at the next meeting, and I want to thank Lisa for preparing this. She completed the majority of the work. Initially, the department heads submitted their budgets to Lisa back at the beginning of the year. I've worked with Lisa in the last few weeks, and we've also reviewed all this with our auditor. And I want to amplify some of the things that Lisa said, because I can say, based on a lot of experience with municipal budgets, as you know, that we are in the best financial situation that Margate's been in since I've been here.
I think you should close your microphone. I'm not hearing.
You're not hearing me? Margate is in the,
There it is.
got it now? Margate is in better financial shape, and it's been in a good financial shape, but it's in better financial shape than it's been at any time since I've been here going forward. And what's hurt us a little bit in the last few years, but which we had to do, but now it's coming back to our favor, is that we had to pre-fund a lot of that Hurricane Sandy expense. It was $3.5 million of expense. We've been funding that at $750,000 a year. Now we're starting to get reimbursed from the federal, or we've been getting last year or two, reimbursed from the federal government, which we'll continue to get now that we finish this building as the last big project. So we are now in a good financial situation. We're not having to pay that $750,000, which we've done for each of the last 5 years. At the same time, we're reducing our overhead from people have been here a long time, management salaries and other salaries, we've renegotiated contracts. So as Lisa said, our salary and wages, even giving people a 2% increase, our salary and wages are only up 1.1% this year. So we're doing a really nice job there. Our rate, people talk about our ratables all the time, and our ratables are good, the information's here. The ratables have gone up a little less than 1%, which is somewhat consistent for the last 4 or 5 years. But this year, they went up a little bit less than 1%. Our tax rate is up 0.6%. It's basically the same. It's basically rounding at this point. Our tax collection rate, we collected 98.09% of our taxes in the current year. We collect 100% of our taxes, but only 2% of it is not collected in the year that it's due. That's excellent. So we're in good shape there, and it's been consistent for a number of years. I don't expect that to change. I don't expect the ratables in the short run to be changing either. We should be able to increase by 1%, which even at a 2% growth rate in terms of inflation, and certainly our inflation is going to be up at least 2% this year. The Fed's already raising interest rates in anticipation of business being good and trying to keep inflation under wraps. But inflation will be up 2% plus this year. But we say with relative confidence at this point, and I'm saying it publicly with relative confidence, that we should be able to keep our tax rate stable for the next couple of years as a result of the position that we're in. We have a very good tax rate now. Our adjoining municipalities, some of which have good tax rates and some of which don't. We are going to be in good shape, and our infrastructure is in good shape. Our road systems are in better shape than they've been, largely due to the work that's been done over the last number of years, plus the gas company work that's been done in the community in the last couple of years. So we really don't anticipate spending quite as much money on roads in the next few years. So that puts us in good shape. Our water and sewer utility, by and large, is in good shape. There are 3 parts to that. There's the storage, and we keep our tanks up. There's the source, which is the wells, and we have been keeping our wells in good shape. We rehabilitate our wells every, 8 or 10 years, Frank?
Yeah, and they're tested every 3 years.
Other places with water systems, their well systems are just not good, which means that they have a lot of maintenance and they have a lot of concern with evaluating the quality of the water on a regular basis as a result. So our source water is good, our storage is good. In most respects, our transmission is good. If we have any weaknesses at all, it's in certain sections with respect to transmission. There will have to be repairs to transmission lines through the years, but we're going to try to keep them at a time when we're doing road work like we've been doing for the last 5 years. Whenever we do road work, we're trying to address the underground work as well. Our utility, as I mentioned at the earlier meeting, we're up 500,000. Our capital ordinance is 500,000. The policy's been in $1.5 million for the last 5 years. We're down to 500,000. We're $1 million less this year on capital expenditures. The debt service is leveling off. This year's the last spike. It's a $400,000 increase, and then it levels off and starts going back down again. I know we have concerns in Atlantic County with respect to government costs, and specifically because of Atlantic City, and I'm not unmindful of that. But as it relates strictly to Margate municipal government, I can assure you, from the best of my ability and Lisa's ability and our auditor's ability, you've done a great job as commissioners in meeting with us frequently and giving us the guidance we need to keep. And you can say to your citizens with confidence that we're in good shape. So I urge you to introduce this budget. There'll be a public hearing on May 4th.
Thank you, Rich, and thank you for your leadership. We wouldn't be here without you. I appreciate it.
Can I just add, I'm sorry, just two other quick things. I just wanted to make mention that the auditors have been in for the last couple of weeks. They're in still, conducting the 2016 audit, so I'll keep you apprised of that. So far, everything is going well. And also, I met with two of the representatives from Ocean First Bank, the bank that has acquired Ocean City Home First, that holds all our accounts. They will be going through the conversion process, I believe, mid-May. They will be closing the location here, and their location will be on the corner of Ventnor and Essex right now. So they told me that our agreement will remain the same. Our account numbers will remain the same, and they will keep me posted, and I'll let you know when that happens. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Chief Wilson.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to note that although we experienced greater flooding as a result of Winter Storm Stella on Tuesday, our calls for service did not go up, which is unusual. I know other municipalities had a lot of problems with vehicles being stuck in the flood stuff. We didn't experience any of that, so I'm very thankful for that. Other than that, everything's good.
Good. Thank you, Chief. Roger.
Thank you, Mayor. As was announced by Scott earlier, there is a master plan hearing on Monday the 20th at 6:30 in this room. Another planning board meeting will be held on March 30th. And April's meeting has been booked up already, so the pace of construction and reconstruction, variances being requested in this town are continuing and actually starting to book up in May. There has been some compliance issues, but that's nothing unusual, and we're handling those case by case. Good news from Jimmy about the ABFE maps and not losing any points to CRS. That's really great news for Margate and the citizens and the ratepayers. Nothing further to comment.
Thank you, Roger. Rich, have you anything else? Okay, Maury?
No, I just want to thank Lisa and Rich, all the department heads, and the entire team for the great work on the new budget. It looks fantastic, and I'm proud to be part of the team. So thank you all.
John?
Yes, Mayor, I also would echo Maury's sentiments, the work that went into the budget over the past several months. And one thing that Rich did mention, as Lisa did, I want to thank personally all our department heads that cooperated and did not take pay raises this year in anticipation of keeping in control of this budget. It shows you the employees that this city has, that they cooperate with us. We were obligated by contract for the 2% raises. That was done the prior years, and we'll be negotiating new contracts in the coming year, 2018. But for all our management and department heads that cooperated, it's a part of a team effort to keep cost controls in Margate where they're at. And again, thanks to everybody for the hard work that went to this budget.
Thank you, John. And I concur. It's kind of nice for us sitting up here and kind of getting along and doing the work that has to be done for you people and the rest of the citizens of Margate. We're very proud of this budget, and I was just passed the note that not to forget Fred. Okay, I have a habit of doing that. Tony, I remember. Where are you, Fred?
I'm trying to catch a nap.
Do you want a microphone?
Mayor, everything is great here in the technology world. I love my job, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Fred. Tony, you.
Mayor, Commissioners, a little change of pace here in the fire department report, and I will be looking to the IT person for some help here. I'm going to show a short video today. I think it will be of interest to everyone in the room, residents, visitors, commissioners, and everyone that's a department head at the board here. If you could take a look at the monitors
This morning, the fire danger from newer furniture giving you less time to escape in an emergency. Today, national investigative correspondent Jeff Rawson has this demonstration. Jeff, good morning to you.
You need to see this one. Guys, good morning to you. Thousands of people are killed in house fires every year. In fact, new deadly cases in the news just this week. Survivors always say it happens so fast, there was barely time to get out. And it turns out there is a reason for that. Popular new furniture, the kind of furniture so many of us have in our homes today, actually burns faster, a lot faster, meaning you and your family don't have as much time to escape as you used to. This morning, we're about to show you why.
It starts small, but in just minutes, flames can engulf your entire house.
I didn't think we were going to make it.
In an instant, your home becoming a deadly trap.
In 20, 30 seconds, it went from no fire in the hallway to the stairs were blazing.
Even firefighters are overcome. And your chance to get out alive is getting shorter and shorter. Research shows 30 years ago, you had about 17 minutes to escape. Today, it's only 3 to 4 minutes.
Turns out there's a reason newer homes burn faster. You know the old saying, they don't build them like they used to? Well, they don't build them like they used to. And to show you, we've come here to Chicago. It's a lab where we're going to do a demonstration. I'm wearing this hard hat and these safety glasses so we stay safe. They have 2 rooms built here side by side. The first one is sort of a flashback to the 70s or 80s, the way homes used to be built. Real wood on the coffee table, more natural fabrics. But if you come just next door, this room probably looks the way your home looks right now. Modern furniture, a lot of synthetic fibers, from the curtains to the couch, even to the coffee table. Experts say newer homes can burn 5 times faster than the older ones. So we're going to light up the modern room first and see what happens. Let's go.
Within seconds, flames are already shooting up from the pillow. Just seconds later, it's spreading to the entire couch.
The backing on your carpet is synthetic. Your drapes are synthetic. The couch, the pillows are synthetic.
And they're more flammable than the way they used to be.
They burn hotter and faster than natural materials do.
So why do they make it out of that stuff?
It's less expensive. It's the way homes are furnished today. There's no getting away from that.
In less than 2 minutes, the fire jumps to the lamp and the end table. Black smoke filling the room. By 2 minutes, 20 seconds, watch, that chair goes up in flames. At 2 minutes and 40 seconds, it's the coffee table. And then this. Complete flashover. You can't survive this.
The fire's coming out of the roof there. Should we leave?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
All right. Jeez, get out of here. That was fast. All right, now we're going to light the older home up to see the difference. Are we good to go here?
Good to go.
All right, let's get out of here as it sparks up.
2 minutes pass and the fire is still barely noticeable.
I'm just amazed. This pillow has been on fire for several minutes now, but it hasn't even caught the rest of the couch.
It could be the difference between life and death, and it's been proven many times.
At 5 minutes, the flames are just peeking over the top of the pillow. 10 minutes, only the corner of the couch is burning, and the drapes are catching. At 15 minutes, the room is still intact.
It's been 26 minutes, and take a look. The fire is still mostly contained to the couch. It hasn't even spread to this table. It hasn't spread to the plant or even the coffee table. And the fact that you can see me right now and we can stand here, the black smoke is not overpowering. It's taken this long. You could still get out.
In the end, it takes 30 minutes for the old house to burn. The modern house, less than 3. So what's being done about it? The Furniture Industry Group telling NBC News it supports a federal flammability standard for upholstered furniture, but only if product changes are safe, effective, and affordable. Until then, experts say, there's no time to waste.
That's why when your smoke alarm goes off, you don't have time to look around to get your wedding pictures.
Get out.
You get out as quickly as you can, Jeff.
There is some good news here. The National Association of Home Builders telling NBC News that building codes make the actual houses safer these days. Fire experts say the bottom line here, you need to have an escape plan for your family. If you don't know how to create one, I know I didn't in my house, that's not a problem. The Red Cross has an easy worksheet online. I have a link on my Facebook page right now, facebook.com/Rawson Reports. I really urge everybody to go there. We all need to have a plan.
And then practice it and practice to make sure your kids understand it. Jeff, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, for the time that this took to show this. I'm sure it's of
March
interest to
21st,
everyone in the
bring
room. And every one of us fits the same category, folks. All of us have synthetics. And this is basically a synthetic material versus natural materials that they just don't use anymore because of expense. Even in firefighter training, when we train in what we call a flashover simulator, we actually go into a building that is concealed with fire in it to observe and feel what it's like to be in an actual flashover. And that's when the smoke actually ignites above you. They will not let us burn anything but natural wood. You're not even allowed to bring one pillow, one piece of plastic, because it'll be that much hotter. So the temperatures are hotter and they burn much faster. And that is one of the main reasons why having a career fire department like we have here, Ocean City, Ventnor, AC, Brigantine, fast response knocks these small fires down quick. Without that delay, it can be disaster. We're available to answer any questions for you. And one other thing I wanted to mention, ironically, on another show, which was Good Morning America, just yesterday, they showed a show about smoke alarms and how they've done a study that kids between 2 and 13 are sleeping through them. 80% of kids tested slept through the alarms going off. So our message to you is check your smoke detectors, but make sure they're working properly. These devices do fail, and if you need any help whatsoever, you just call the fire department. We come out, we check it, we test it, we change your batteries, anything you need. And I want to thank you for your time again. Again, if any questions, you could speak to me, Deputy Chief Adams, or give us a call. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Good job. Anybody have anything else to add? If not, we'll go to public comment. You have 3 minutes to talk about anything that was discussed here today.
Steve Altman, 9003 Amherst Avenue. Could the chief possibly put that on the website?
The chief can't. Fred can.
Or can Fred do it?
My assistant Fred will.
And the other thing is, do we have a budget available to us to
That'll
see?
be introduced at the next meeting.
At the next meeting.
It's on, yeah, and it's on the website.
Thank you.
Well, it will be on the
Will be on-
website tomorrow or Monday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Sewell 22 West Drive, following up on our esteemed solicitor's pithy, brief remarks, almost in encrypted language, Dunes injunction. I can only endorse that sentiment, but the commissioners can't sit on their hands. This requires affirmative action, pronto, ASAP. And unfortunately, I don't see that coming forth. I had urged you to get in your Goomba machine and go up and see that rotund rhino and get something done up there. But something has to be done. I don't care how it's done. As I spoke to our finance minister, I strongly urged an injunction last time, and there's a whole host of ways of going about it. You can do it on the local level, dirt cheap, filing an injunction. They'll either give you immediate injunctive relief or they'll give you relief with a full hearing. They don't care which, you can have both if you like. Or you can jump on the old Acela, go down to Washington, D.C. and lobby Francesco Lobiondo, and see if he won't do a DEP injunction. They stopped a Walmart dead in its tracks over some nasty rattler snakes. The only good rattler is a dead rattler. But they stopped that Walmart dead in its tracks. They've stopped other areas on the piping plover. If you're familiar with the beaches, since they've put the dunes in Ventnor, you see far, far fewer horseshoe crabs. And the horseshoe crabs are in direct relationship to the population of the piping plovers. And also, they were discussing the type of sand that they dredge that they use in the dredging. That is the same sand that the fisheries use for feeding grounds. And I think that there can be a DEP injunction secured with a little bit of creative writing, which I'm sure is right up the solicitor's alley. Or if not, Finance Minister, maybe you can get your buddy Jimbo to do something. But something has to be done, because I'm going to tell you, I remember when they were putting the dunes in Ventnor. Hellish noise, night and day. It was like the hammers of hell pounding away 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't a pleasant thing. I don't personally care, but those weekend warriors that come down here who are paying the $40,000-50,000 a year in real estate taxes, they want peace and quiet. And if you don't deliver it, your ass is grass.
Is there any other public comment?
Only be 3 minutes. Art Cotilli, 114 North Lancaster. On this budget, I saw the presentation that we had from our superintendent last meeting. And it was surprising because he talked about actually refurbishing that Thai school and redoing all those air exchangers and all that. And floating a bond so that it makes it easier on the taxpayers to pay this off in a long-term thing. And then someone from the school board mentioned that there's nothing critical at the moment. We still have a lot of students and we're not in a critical situation. And yet, I look at his presentation, the superintendent's, and he's talking about 6 years, 5 to 6 years before he's going to possibly close a school. That's a big expense. And 5 to 6 years, we're all going to be a lot older. I don't think many of you can picture yourself 6 years from now. Anyway, I checked into Thai school enrollment when he said there are 3 classes for each grade. And there's 41 in 3 out of the 4 classes. 41 students with 3 kids. I mean, 3 classes is maybe 14 per class. I remember Sless, who was head of the school board, just a few years ago when he was still around. He mentioned that he was willing to accept a number of 21 before he'd think of breaking them up. Well, we're down to 14 now in all of Thai. That's a real drop. And that's not critical. I think something has to be done here. We can't keep letting this go down, and then pretty soon we'll be down to 9. I mean, doesn't anybody raise a flag and say something has to be done? And the superintendent is looking at 5 to 6 years. He's talking about a migration. What are we, a bunch of birds? We're going to migrate to Thai now. I mean, doesn't it dawn on him that we could do something now? It's easy to do now if you want. You can repurpose the 3rd floor of Ross. It's a pretty brand new building, 16, 17 years old. It's all bricks. It's got the new plumbing, the new electrical. And what do you have in Thai? You have all old stuff in the walls and all. I think you ought to look it over. Putting internal walls up on the 3rd floor of Ross will be very, very inexpensive. Thank you.
Thank you, Art. Anyone else?
Hello.
Hi, Rachel.
Rachel Bogotten, 8 South Brunswick Avenue. The dunes. I was up on the boardwalk. Oh, I'm up on the boardwalk every day. I was up there yesterday after the really ridiculously heavy rain, and there had to be at least 2 feet of water between the trap between the dune and the bulkhead, which I know I'm speaking to the choir here. If something can be done to at least put off the dune construction for the summer, I think it would be in our best interest. I've lived here all my life. I'm a year-round resident, and I'm really grateful for our seasonal residents, because if it wasn't for them paying the freight and a big share of the taxes, I certainly wouldn't be able to afford to live here and enjoy, what we have all year long. And I am afraid they are going to freak out when they come down. and see those bulldozers and the noise and everything that John said. It's not pretty. So anyway, anything you can do to at least prolong it would be really appreciated, I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Anyone else? Is there a motion to close public comment?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes,
Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
This meeting is adjourned. We will reconvene in 5 minutes.